I see the news yesterday that said the government of Eritrea passed new law. And the law is for a man, one man, to marry 3 wives.
What up, this is Solo Traveler ORD, back with another video review. Of course, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share, hit that bell while you are here. So let's see what these foreign women have to say about what's going on in these different countries that I have lined up. Let's check these out. Yeah, so with this right here, talking about if you ever visit South Africa, you'll lose your mind. So let's go ahead and check this out.
There is thick women, and then there is South African thick women. Guys, listen. So I just came across, I think she's a Kenyan woman, right? And she speaks about South African nyash and how she sometimes used to think that it was editing until she was able to meet South African women and she realized that it's all natural. I don't even think that South African women know how blessed it is that we are. And I remember there was a time I used to travel a lot, right? And I lived in LA for a while, and then I lived in New York. The amount of times that women or people will stop me to ask me where it is that I got my body done. Yo. And I mean, at first you're very offended. I would be like, what? But later on you get used to it. But also what I have realized is the moment you mention that you are South African, like they know. It's like people know. The moment I would say, no, I'm South African, they'll be like, oh yeah, South Africa, we've heard about South African women. Oh my God, you guys are so blessed, hey? When it comes to nyash, I no shame. South African women have nyash for days. And I always had to say to my male friends in the States, if you guys ever come to South Africa, you would lose your minds.
Yeah, I know a couple of brothers that keep going out there to South Africa. You know, I know one of my good buddies, No Excuse, or Passport Bro podcast. So he likes going out there a lot. So when I seen this video, I was like, yo, maybe I might have to go out there to see what she's talking about and what he be talking about, because he definitely loves going out there and visit to see what's going on out there. So for those of you who already been out there, hey, comment below. Let me know about your experience of being out there in South Africa. Is it really what it is, what they're talking about? So with this one, you got a Colombiana. She's complaining about men, her own men, and why she prefers foreign men.
Los hombres de Medellín me tienen muy decepcionada, muy decepcionada. Princesos, tacaños, feos. ¿Qué está pasando aquí? Eso hay que salir a buscar producto extranjero. Ya los de Medellín no sirven.
Well, you know, it's kind of like the same thing what we have in the Matrix in the United States. You gotta blame who's raising them. And we know that in Colombia, there is a lot of single women, single family homes. A lot of women who basically have kids on their own and want to be alone. So it's the women that are raising these kids, raising these men. You're gonna have to look at that. How are they raising them? Why are they being the way that they are? So you have to think about that. Although, unless she's just upset at the fact that she's not getting what she wants, that could also be the other reason why. We know, you know, she's a Colombian 7 in Colombia. You know, we've seen some fine women out there. So she might just be upset that she's not getting the looks that she wants from them local men. And, you know, of course, out there, they don't have to be with a woman. They don't have to be. You know, they have several ways to enjoy themselves. They can have 2, 3, 4 different women if they want. So it's possible. But nonetheless, hey, that's what she's talking about. So reference to this video, when I first saw it, I was like, yo, that's actually pretty good. There's some good information. But then I checked this up in chat, and it appears that this may not be true. But you all let me know below if this is true or not.
Guys, I think this is the news that everybody needs to hear. Ladies and gentlemen, I told you there is a lot of quiet country. We need to dive in. We need to go see what is going on. Another banger, urgent news that everybody will love. Please share and drop your comment in the comment section. Welcome, Eritrea. I see the news yesterday that said the government of Eritrea passed new law. And the law is for a man, one man, to marry 3 wives.
Ow.
Impressive. They said the government of Eritrea yesterday officially passed a new law requiring men to marry 3 women in order to address the shortage of men in the country. The government have promised to provide a monthly financial subsidy.
What?
To anyone who took a third wife. It should be noticed that Eritrea is an African country with very few men compared to the large number of women. Wait. So right now they said the president of Eritrea, President Afrik, decide to pass a law from the law of the country that will permit a man to marry 3 wives. Why? Because we have less men and the women are too many. And now if you marry 3 wives, the government will be paying you every month to support your family.
That's what I'm talking about.
Wonderful. This one is, you see, Eritrea did not come always on news like that. But when they come on news, now blockbuster. When I see the video, I shock. Is it true? Now, why is it that the men are few? According to what I get, you know, Eritrea, they break away from Somali and from Ethiopia. Apology, Somalia. Apology. So I believe because the men fight war, they lose a lot of men. So now they're having less men and large number of women. That is why I don't support war. That is why I don't support breaking. That is why I don't support conflicts. I don't support, because the men go die, and when the men die, it will look like, oh, who will marry the women? You know, can you imagine that now they are saying?
So I'm gonna stop right there. But as you can see, what's going on is that if this is really true, or so, is that they're looking for men, or they're gonna allow men there to have 3 wives. I'm sure that they will allow foreign men to come there, live there, be a citizen, and to be able to have more than 1 wife at some point. You know, you guys go ahead and do your research, make sure this is true, this is accurate, and if you're able to do that. But you know, for those of you that are looking for a polygamy relationship, there you go. If this is true. So I'm not going to say it's true or not, because like I said, from 2 different places, one place is saying that this is not correct, and she's saying that this is correct from whatever she's pulling her sources from. So go ahead and do your investigation and see what up. I'm going to mute the music because, you know, YouTube. Yo, talking about how she's toxic and so forth. You know what? One thing I'm going to say is that a lot of men would actually say this. There's different levels to dealing with toxic women. And there's also a level of what you will tolerate depending on the type of woman. Of course, if she's not attractive, you're not going to tolerate a toxic woman at all. You know, you're going to be like, nah, I'm good. But if she's actually beautiful, you know, she's basically, you know, everything that you like, that you look at, a lot of times brothers will let that slide. I'm not saying it's right, but I'm just saying that is what a lot of dudes would do, because from being with her for like several months, years or so, and she started acting toxic, you know that you're going to start thinking like, this is only once every 6 months, and maybe I could just deal with it. And usually it's not this bad. It usually gets this bad in year 3. So, but nonetheless, hey, this is what it is, what you're dealing with. All I gotta say is that, hey, if she's fine toxic, I don't know. But I only like a little bit of toxicity in a woman, just a little bit, not a lot.
Us Latinas, we don't like to be called babe. What's babe? We need a little more flavor. Call us mi amor, mami, mamacita, princesa, reina de mi corazón. Oof, so many things. But don't call us babe. I swear, I won't even reply if you call me babe.
Babe! Babe! Babe!
Come in.
Yeah, for this one, I'm going to mute the music again because, you know, YouTube. This is Diversity of Dominican Republic. Yeah, they have all the shades of colors you can think of down there. Spend some time down there. I can tell you, I've definitely enjoyed myself, you know, with a lot of the eye candy. Well, brothers, let me know what you guys think about the video. You know, leave the comments below. Hey, man, especially with the last video, the shades of Dominican Republic. You know how it is with them women out there. I'm sure you guys enjoyed the eye candy with that. But hey, Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share, of course. And I'm out.